Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Pantzer, and I'd like to welcome today's guest, Charlie Rose. He helps business owners generate more revenue through search engines by finding more profitable clients through targeted research and optimization. Welcome, Charlie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to talk to you because we have maybe a little bit of a similar background. We both help people get found online. So tell me, who do you help?
I help a lot of business owners, either locally in the Florida region or also throughout the nation and also around the world as well. The beauty about the internet is that even though I'm in Florida, my services are just as applicable in Australia or New Zealand or any other English-speaking country. So
can you describe exactly what your primary services are?
Yeah, so I primarily help businesses generate more revenue through search engines, through search engine optimization, which is really a loaded word. It can mean a whole lot of different things. But essentially, I leverage a business's online persona and reputation and their website to help them attract better customers for their business. And that better customer has there's several different ways to determine what's the best customer for a client. But, the website and a business's online reputation is really one of the most powerful things they can utilize to generate revenue because, it's working for your business 24 hours a day. And even when your business is closed for the day, your website is up and working and answering people's questions.
Right. So the term reputation, I bet you get this from a lot of people. If you ask them in person, you say, how do you get most of your clients? And I bet you hear the same thing I've heard, which is word of mouth. Yeah. And that's in the what I call the real world, but in the virtual world, we call that reputation. Can you talk a little bit about reputation and the difference between reputation marketing and reputation management?
Yeah, so reputation management is really a big one. That's another kind of subcategory that can be included in search engine optimization because it is indeed a part of your business persona that needs to be, managed, maintained, and optimized. Because one bad review that somebody leaves you on Google not only can have negative effects on your search engine ranking, but if you have a potential customer visiting and learning more about your business and they read that review, it's quite possible that they'll decide not to continue on and utilize your services. And then, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask more about the reputation marketing aspect.
Reputation marketing, when it comes from a search engine perspective on my end, I work with clients to kind of create a system to harvest reviews from their clients that they've just done business with. Because as we all know, somebody's more likely to write a bad review than they are to write a good review because they're very pleased with what they received, so they're not going to go out of their way. So there is a big kind of hurdle there in regards to generating those reviews. So I work with clients to just create a system that works best for their business.
So how do you go about doing that? Let's say that I wanted to start working with you. What would the first step be?
As far as reputation marketing?
Yeah.
Yep. For reputation marketing, the first step would be just figuring out exactly what your business offers, obviously, and then determining at what point would be a good time to ask that client for a review. Every business is a little different. sometimes, or, even in Florida, the population here is older. So sometimes that process might not even be a digital process. For some businesses, it might be generating an automated email campaign that goes out after they perform a service at somebody's house, just to encourage them to visit them online, and if they're happy with the services, to write a review, and giving them access to everything in that email and on your website to help facilitate that process. And even sometimes with clients, we've worked together to develop actual instructions where they hand them to their clients or patients as they leave their facility, to give them better instructions on how to give a review if they're, so inclined to do it. So it's really just giving everybody the tools they need to properly write a review. Because, when somebody tells me, hey, can you write a review of my business, it's very easy for me to know what to do. But if you're somebody that's never done that before, then there are really a lot of hurdles to overcome, and just trying to streamline that process for them.
Do you find that most of your business clients understand the value of the review process?
They do. They understand the value of it, but sometimes people just think it's going to magically happen. So they don't understand how much work it takes to generate reviews. Because really, probably for every one review you got, you probably had 15 happy clients, or more. But it's really it's a long-term approach, and it's just kind of putting that into the forefront to the business owner and being like, hey, this is something you need to invest time in because it's very beneficial to your business.
Right. It's not a set it and forget it type of a program. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about websites. And here we are, we're in 2016. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have had a lot of online digital changes in, let's say, the past 10 years. And certainly even in the last 2 or 3 years, things have just exploded in the online environment, and our websites need to be mobile friendly. And I wanted to ask you about that and your take on how to help people make their websites mobile friendly, and perhaps what are the best types of websites to have created. Can you address that?
Yeah. As far as the best way for businesses to create a mobile-friendly environment on their website?
Yes.
Really, the best way to do that is to, first of all, assess whether you need help with that. And the best way to do that is to visit your website from your mobile device. And if you, as the business owner, find yourself frustrated with navigating through the website from your mobile phone, really just amplify that and figure that anybody who's a potential customer will probably be even more frustrated, but they don't have the necessity to go through the process. If at that stage you find that your website is not mobile friendly, then the best thing to do is to figure out what kind of website you actually have as a business. There are several ways that you can develop a website. There are actually hundreds and thousands of ways to develop a website. So it's figuring out, as you as the business owner, do you know what kind of content management system your website is on? Because that's going to dictate the efficiency and ease of use for you as the business owner and cost to create a mobile-friendly website. If you have a WordPress website, which is probably one of the more popular content management systems, then there are a lot of easy ways for you to efficiently and effectively create a mobile website for your business. If you don't have that kind of content management system, then it's really taking the time to figure out what goals you're trying to accomplish as a business, and then making sure that those are addressed on your cell phone. Everybody's business is different, so everybody's needs are a little different. That's really the first step, is just figuring out what kind of website you actually have.
Do you think that a website is still as important as it was, or not?
Yeah, it is. People always kind of think that websites are going to go away, but it really is the online digital hub of your business, and it can be effectively used in inbound marketing attempts through search engines, and then outbound marketing attempts in advertising as a business to just drive traffic to your business website so people can learn more information. So it's also an environment where you can control everything. So while you can't control whether somebody's going to leave you a bad review on Yelp or Google, because that's just the nature of business, you can highlight the best reviews that your business has ever got and just put those to the forefront so people can see those when they visit your website.
So can you give us maybe 3 tips about what makes a good website?
A good website?
Yes.
Well, it really depends on your business, but some key takeaways for like a local business to have on their website would definitely be an easy place for people to find your phone number. And not only that, making your phone number click to call. And what that means is somebody could click on the link or a button on your mobile website and call your business directly. Another really good tip is just to make sure that the fonts are the right size and easy to read, because nothing's more frustrating than either having to try to hold the phone really close to your face or, scroll down forever to find the information you want. And the other one would be having a really easy navigatable button system within your website, because when you're on your phone, you don't have as much space, so it's just being able to efficiently navigate through your website. And then another one that's really important is, clearly displaying the address of your business, because a lot of people, if you're a local business, somebody just wants to see where you're located and map it really fast and not necessarily go sifting through a bunch of pages to find that.
So the big clue is be sure to let people know how they can get a hold of you, either via the telephone, email, or in person. I know that for a while it seemed to be a big trend not to put your phone number on your website, and I remember that used to be extremely frustrating, where the only way that you could try to contact someone was through their email or something, when all you wanted to do is pick up the phone and ask one question. So how important do you think having videos on your website is?
That's another really good aspect to have on your website. I always tell people that after your website, if there's room in your budget, to make a nice commercial about your business and what you offer is just a really great investment opportunity, because it can be used over and over and over again. And when you amortize that out, it's really very cost effective. Plus, it's one of those opportunities where you can really highlight your business and what you do the same way people do on local television channels, but it's a little more affordable for you to do. And it allows you to just kind of just go, get your message across to people, even though not everybody clicks on a video. But the people that do want to click on a video, having everything nice and together for them to see is very effective. But on the other hand, if you have a poorly done video and the branding isn't good and it just doesn't look right, then that's a bad thing to put on your website, because that kind of knocks down your credibility as a business. Especially if you have a really good business website, either by design or just by luck, and then you have a poorly developed video, then it just kind of it doesn't really look right. So people kind of start to question. Yeah,
it's not congruent with your message. So when you look at websites or someone's online presence, when you're going to help them, do you do like an audit? What do you do to find out where somebody's at?
Yeah, I do a full audit of their online business presence, and then also their website, social media profiles. I see what kind of traffic's going to their website, who their competitors are, where their target market is, whether it's one city or multiple cities, or maybe it's national, or maybe they're in an e-commerce store, and then assessing all of that. And then in addition to that, I'll check out their local competitors and see what they're doing online and how their traffic is performing. And then in addition to that, there's the technical audit, which is going through and making sure all the code is correct and that all the behind-the-scenes things are functioning properly.
Right, just like about a year or so ago when the mobile-friendly thing with Google happened, and I don't know if they actually followed through with the threat that they were going to make people's websites show up lower in the search engines if they weren't mobile-friendly. I don't know if that ever really happened or not. Do you think that your website has anything to do with the Google local rankings, which used to be a 7-pack and now it's a 3-pack?
Yeah, it's all tied together. And it's, making sure that all the pieces are connected properly so that Google knows where your business is, what your information is, what your phone number is, and then they can tie it to your website as well. And then making sure that everything intertwines.
So is it important for your name and address and phone number to all be exactly the same? I've heard that that your business address needs to be exactly the same on your website as it is in the Google listings, because if it's not, then of course it doesn't match. What's your experience with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. We call that NAP, or name, address, and phone number, and that is a very important aspect of your business. And what happens is that sometimes somebody will start a business in their home, or maybe they'll register their LLC or their business license and tie it to their home address. Well, now all of that information about you and your business is available to anybody on the internet, and it's tied to your home. In addition to that, if you get a physical address for your business or a storefront or anything like that, and you're trying to drive traffic to your business on foot and to your website, having two separate addresses definitely it does not help you out at all, because once that Pandora's box is opened, then that gets piped around all over the internet, and all of a sudden your business clientele might be in Naples, but your business address when you registered your business might be in, I don't even know, Tampa, and that doesn't do anything productive for you. So that is a very important aspect. Another thing that people never think about, but I'm always very interested in whether they're using it or not, is call forwarding phone numbers, and not just the ones, primarily the ones that are used by Yellow Page, like Yellow Pages and Dex Knows. Sometimes what happens is they'll do campaigns for a business and they'll assign them a call forwarding number. All of a sudden that call forwarding number gets into their name, address, and phone number and matriculates all over the internet. So you could be losing a lot of revenue when you stop using that call forwarding number because it's tied to your business. And then another one is if you move into a building, or say you moved into a storefront, and you could have been maybe the 50th person that's had a business in there. Well, there could have been 50 different types of businesses that are tied to that address. So you got to make sure that all that information is clean as well.
So is that one of the services that you provide to go out and clean up, guess, the directory listings and get that going? How long does this stuff take? Because I think that's something people need to understand. This is not an overnight fix, what can you honestly expect if you have these issues where you have, bad addresses, bad phone numbers, errors in your basic information? What is realistic about getting these things fixed? What length of time and what type of improvements once you do make the fixes? What happens? What is the improvement that you'll see?
Yeah, the thing with the internet, and it's one of the hardest for some people to understand, is that when you're on the consumer side of the internet, it's amazing. It's built to get people instant gratification. I could order something on Amazon today, and I could probably have it delivered on Sunday. But when you're at the other end, and that's the business owner that's trying to get your information corrected or your information out into the internet world so people can learn about you, it can be a long process. Now, each one of those things we talked about all has a different type of time frame. If you had a bad address, or you moved into a new building, or maybe you moved to another facility, to make changes like that it can almost take a year for it to fully matriculate through the internet for like name, address, and phone number issues. It can take that long. Sometimes it can be a little quicker. It depends on how long your business has been established. As far as optimizing somebody's website to show up in the search engines faster, depending on every business, it's a little different. It's like personal training. Sometimes people can see results really quickly in a matter of months. Sometimes it takes people 6 months. Sometimes it takes 8 months. And sometimes it can take 12 months. And that all depends on, the type of business you are in, the market you're in, the product you're selling, and your competition. Because even though you're investing to market your business online, your competitors are also investing. So at some point, you're kind of battling your competitors to try to edge them out. And the real end goal is that as a business, you have a nice, cohesive explanation of what you do and where you do it. And that is really the end goal, is that as a business, people can easily find you for what you do and where you do it whenever they look on the internet.
Here's a question that I get a lot. A lot of people, obviously, let's say that your website is your hub for your business, that they'll often ask, beyond my website, what social media should I be present on? And I'm interested in your take on this.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of business you are. It always comes back to that. But Facebook is a good one just because there's just such a massive amount of users that as a business, you're going to be able to get in front of potential customers that are in your area, either local area or, service area of what you're offering for. That's a good one. But if you have a business that is very visual, like, maybe you're a local photographer or maybe even a travel agency or a hotel, even maybe a local hotel, then using visual social media profiles like Instagram are also really good. If you're a business and you work with other businesses, then utilizing, LinkedIn is exceptional because it's a great way to investigate and find those potential lead sources if you have a real defined bucket of who you're looking for. And then Twitter is a really great tool, but it really only fits the right business. And to utilize it correctly, you need to really engage people in the community that you're trying to market to or that you're a part of. And that's the one that, seems a lot easier than it really is because, all of them are at some level just an investment of time.
So for Twitter, what type of business would benefit the most from Twitter?
Twitter, and Google Plus. I don't want to forget about that.
Oh, yeah, Google Plus.
that's really beneficial for your business listing and the maps and everything. But interacting on that one's kind of a tough one. But Twitter is, when I was in the publishing industry, my friends and I started a music magazine, and Twitter was just amazing. It was really early in its infancy, but as a publishing website, we were pushing out probably over 100,000 words a month, and we could just have instant distribution of our product to potential readers almost instantaneously. And then really people that are, it's good to have a presence on Twitter, but it's hard to really optimize it if you're like a local plumber. I mean, it's hard to engage with people on there, as opposed to, in my business, in the marketing industry, I have a lot of peers and friends that are on Twitter, so we chat and exchange stories on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, because of all of those, my personal favorites, I think, are Facebook and LinkedIn, but I also really do like YouTube for videos, and now, of course, Facebook has the new, Facebook Live, and there's Periscope, and I'm trying to think, Blab and Snapchat. Are you using any of the apps available now, like Meerkat or Periscope? I think is.
No, I don't. When I utilize things that are effective for my business, and that's really how I use social media personally. For me, what's so great about Twitter is that if there's an influencer or somebody that I want to contact at a website or at another company, it's very easy to just potentially reach them through Twitter versus trying to find their email that might not exist on the company website. Plus, it's very just casual. As far as for a business standpoint, I don't really use Instagram for my business. I don't really have too many clients that use it, but it's super beneficial for people in a certain realm of business. But I'm not active in Periscope or even Snapchat personally, just because there's, you find the ones that work for your business, and then you find the ones that work for your client. And a lot of my clients just kind of stick to the traditional ones that we talked about. But I've been in this so long that I kind of wait to see how much something becomes established before investing time into it too.
Well, that's good advice, and also I think the main point is you want to use the tools that work for your business and that also match your personality, but you want to be where your potential clients and customers are. I think that's a really big issue, is you really want to be where your clients and customers are hanging out. So one of the things that in local marketing, obviously we can work anywhere in the world, and we obviously like where we're living. Like I live in Southwest Florida, and I love living here, and I like working with the local clients. And a lot of times what I run into is these people are bombarded by telephone calls from people going, I can do SEO for $99 a month. I can do this. I can make you, they literally made the term SEO almost a dirty word. So as a local marketing consultant, what makes you so different than these smile and dialers that these business people are getting bombarded with every day?
Well, there's a big difference, and one of them is experience, and with experience also communication and customer service. When I work with a client, a lot of the times in the local market, I meet them and they meet me because of doing things in the local business community or networking. So really what people like about working with me is that they have somebody that can help explain to them what's going on, and they have like a name and a face, and as opposed to somebody that calls them on the phone and promises them ideas or says they're Google, but they're not really Google. I've been really, I developed and really optimized my first website in 1996, and I've just consistently been learning from every industry that I've ever worked in, whether it's been publishing or the real estate industry or the action sports industry and the music industry, and having that, not only that depth of experience, but just the breadth of time that I've been using the internet. I'm coming up on, I don't even know how many years, almost 20 years, that's a long time to be on the internet.
Yes, it is. And I think you're really right on. Local people really do enjoy being in connection with real people. That is something that I found, even though I like to use online tools because it makes it so that I can be anywhere in the world at a moment in time without driving. So yeah. I like that. So is there anything else that you think that people should know about getting found online?
It's if you are a new business or even an old business, it's just controlling your expectations and not thinking of it as gambling on the roulette wheel, but thinking of it really as a long-term investment into your business, kind of like a 401k. And really, a lot like investing into a 401k is that over time, your results start compounding. But in the very beginning, you don't really see much of, you're not putting $500 into your 401k to get $1,000 out the next month. It really is an investment, and it's being strategic about it, just like anything else. It's figuring out how you want to invest your money for your business. And what's great about it, too, is that, it's a tax-deductible investment for your business, and it's one of the greatest ways to generate additional revenue for your business because you're putting it immediately into finding people that want to call your business to do business with. I said business like 7 times. To do business with you right away.
Well, it's all about business and getting people in the door. I like to liken it to having digital waterfront property, and because when you invest in everything that you do online, for example, every review, every directory, every photo that you put into your website, every video becomes a piece of digital real estate, and then that becomes assets, just like what you said about the 401k, and those assets grow, and over time you end up with a massive online footprint.
And this is if anybody's a business owner right now, and they hear this, something that they should really consider doing is tracking down who actually owns all of your stuff. And that would be your domain name. And what I mean by that is whose account is registered to your domain name. Do you pay the billing for it? Do you have access to it if you needed your domain name? Your Google My Business profile, do you have access to that? Do you have the email and login information to that, or is it with the secretary? Or did the secretary's son create it, and now the son's in the military? And he's in the Philippines. These are all real life things that I've experienced before, because regaining access to that stuff, if you've lost control of it, sometimes you get into even legal matters where you're filing papers with companies that are signed statements, and you need lawyers, and they need to be, it gets really, can get kind of crazy there. So as a business owner, make sure you have access to all of your profiles, your hosting account, your domain name, and anything that helps generate traffic and makes your phone ring. Even your phone number. Sometimes people don't own their phone number. Make sure you know where that phone number is from.
Great advice. So, Charlie, how can people find out more about you and your services?
Yeah, they can visit me online. They can go to SEOmechanic.com. I have an awesome tool on there where they can receive a free audit of their website. And what I do is I generate an audit of their website and let them know what's wrong with it from a real bird's eye just perspective. And then they get that report, and they can either contact me and I can help them go through it, or they can actually use it for themselves to make the corrections. And then also through there I have a blog, and I post, surprise, I post about SEO, and there's a lot of great information on there that people can use to help themselves out, or if they want, they can contact me and we can get together and have either a phone conversation, or if they're in Southwest Florida, we can meet up and talk about what they're doing.
Great. So that's SEOmechanic.com, and you have a free website audit tool so they can put in their information and they'll get that audit, and then they can choose to have you talk to them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So, Charlie, I really appreciate all the time you took with me today, and I learned a lot, and I certainly know that our listeners have learned a lot. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.